It's a huge challenge, and we both came on at the top of season 3, so we were fans of the show, but weren't writing the show, and so you come into a situation with this incredibly complex character who's been through these amazing adventures, and yet has to end up to be the historical guy that we all know in about 20 years, in character time. And so we've had a lot of fun, and we spend like the first 2 weeks of this season just talking about who he is and what he wants, as if he was a character we were making up, for a movie or a TV show. And it's like, where could he go? And as long as we end up back at the guy painting the Mona Lisa, we're okay. Yeah. So it's such a rich playground, and such a rich character that. I've quite enjoyed it, but you're in a position where you can go anywhere to a certain extent. I mean, they went to Peru last year, physically, but as a character too, we have that much leeway. So it's it's exciting, but it's daunting too, because you gotta, you want to make a character that the audience loves, and that requires a lot of hard work.
A lot of hard work, and we do our research. We have all of his journals to choose from, and they're not well known in the ether. So there are designs, there are inventions, there are drawings, there's scientific studies that he's done that people don't necessarily know about, that we can use to our advantage to help sort of craft who he is as a person in this period of his life before he became the bearded genius that we all know.
That's what they call me too.
The bearded genius?
Yeah. I hear that all the time.
No, they should. Okay. but yeah, no. And for me, as like a giant geek, writing Leonardo da Vinci is epically fun. He's basically the founder of the scientific method, and in addition to being a fantastic artist and inventor, but I'm really thrilled to look at all the different sides of him, and not just who he was as an artist or a war engineer.
She's got the T-shirt too.
Yeah. Did you guys see this one?
No.
It says "Naysayer's gonna naysay." Right? Yeah.
I like it.
I do. I'll do it.
Well, it was a different challenge, let me put it that way, because it's always difficult, and it should be difficult to build a show, to build a long-lasting set of characters with arcs and plots to keep doing season after season, and that's the hardest part, and that's what you need to do first when you get into that writer's room, is try to figure out the character arc. So we had a starting point for every character, and the stories that they're involved in, and a very complex backstory. I mean, they packed a lot of story into those first 2 years, as you've seen, and so we spent, as we've said, probably 2 weeks, probably more, just mapping out the storyline so far, as if it was really part of history, as if this is what happened to Lorenzo de' Medici, or this is what happened to the Pope Sixtus, and this is what he wants, and this is how he feels about it, and this is who he's aligned with, and this is who he hates, and it was really sort of like going back to school, because we just looked at it and analyzed it and said, okay, now how can we start to mix these things up, and what pressure cooker can we build for these characters? Who can we throw together? Who can we ally? Who can we break up? And so in some ways some things were easier probably than a brand new show, but in this case we just treated it as if these were the lives of these people, and now, okay, where do you go from here?
And the way season 2 cliffhanged, we had to sort of pick up at the moment that it left off. Which is an interesting challenge for new writers coming in. That you can't really put your stamp on anything. You have to sort of the show has to develop slowly from that point, with John's voice as showrunner. But we're very excited about the direction of the season, and we took the invasion of Otranto as sort of the Pearl Harbor or the 9/11 for our characters, and they're having to deal with the ramifications of that for the rest of the season. We have a couple new women that we've brought onto the show. We have a new character, Sophia, who gets to sort of mix up the relationships a little bit. We have a new character, Laura Soretta, who's actually a character from history that not many people know. One of the first feminists, actually. And she sort of becomes a little bit of a thorn in Pope Sixtus's side, which I think he needs. He needs a little pushback.
And we have a true historic character who we bring up named Gedek Ahmed, who was basically the architect of the invasion, and he becomes a really important character. And it's interesting to see the point of view of the bad guys, as it were, as well.